morning, everybody. Out here on a Friday morning at the Edge gym here in Streeter, Illinois. It's one of the gyms I like to come to. I go to other ones, but this one's definitely local to me. Today we're going to talk about competition, nutrition, bench press, proper form, things like that. So Greg asked me to bring some of my trophies and accomplishments, which are right over here. A couple more certificates for national and world records in bench. For my age and weight, generally I compete in 2 weight classes, depending on my diet, either at the 242 pound class or at the 275 pound class. This year I had a lot of places I had to go, a lot of vacation time, so I knew I wasn't really going to diet, so I went up to 275. I've set 1 world and 2 national records at that time, and a state record. Since I went to 275, I got 3 world records and I think 4 or 5 national records at 242. I really don't count state records because, for the most part, got the little girl in the background giving me a fist bump. It's kind of cute. You may not be able to see her, but I do. So these are medals and trophies I've won in the last couple of years. I've been doing this since 2010. Vince Robbins got me involved in it. Bodybuilder, nice trainer, good guy. I've known him since '08. I've picked up some sponsors along the way. Click Nutrition out of Shore, Illinois. The Shore gym, this gym, I consider a sponsor. They give me a pretty good rate here, and it's, I like the equipment here. I'm more of the old school stuff. Also, Mixed Training Post out in Utica is now sponsoring me. Used to do about 4 meets a year. Now I'm up to about 6, maybe 7. Just trying to stay in shape. 60 years old. Last meet when I broke my national record, I put up 446 pounds. And the reason it's an odd number because in national world events you actually go kilos, so it was 202.5 kilos. So that was a personal best for me all time. So at 60 years old, I'm still hitting new records. So don't ever let age stop you. You may have to make some adjustments. You may have to rethink different exercises, but there's no reason not to come in and get in the best shape you possibly can. So right now I'm doing some warm-ups. I do have a meet on Sunday, so I generally don't go that heavy, but I think I'm going to do some pretty good workouts this time and just see how that affects my meet. It's where I'm going to go break my world record and national record, and I do believe I can easily break it. At the time I set it, I was actually recovering from an injury, so I didn't go as heavy as I could have, just playing it smart, which sometimes is a good thing. So right now I got 2 1/4 on the bar. I've been warming up. I start with the bar, do lots of sets to get everything warmed up, because at 60 years old you need to get the blood moving before you try heavy weights. 225 is still considered up in my warm-up range, so I'll give you a really good demonstration of how a bench should look like. Too often in the gym, and I'm sure a lot of you see it also, you see really bad form or incomplete form. I call it sometimes just not knowing any better, or just an ego lift. If you can't bring the bar all the way down to your chest, reduce the weight. You're not benching 185 if you're only coming halfway down. Don't worry about what people are going to think. Do your own workout. You do the form correctly, the weight will come. I've had people that did that. I got them to train with me in 3 months. I had them at the same weight in perfect form and less chance of injury. So with bad form is going to come injury. All right. So I'm going to try to show you what the form should look like. All right. Now you'll see some people that do an arch. Nothing wrong with an arch. I'm not that flexible, so I don't do that. But I have no problem with anybody that does an arch as long as your rear end stays on the bench. So me, I'm a flat bencher, but you'll see a lot of people in competition that will do an arch. As long as their shoulders and their butt stays on the bench, it's considered a bench. Those are the rules. If I was more flexible, I'd probably do it myself, so I don't have an opinion one way or another. So here's how this should look. I'll probably have to reposition the camera. I don't know if you got the weights yet, but I'm gonna knock out a couple here at 2 1/4, and then I'll add weight. Bang. So generally when I get heavier weights, I'll need a spotter, but at this weight, just not enough for me to be concerned about. Bring it up, come down to the chest, come back. Down to the chest, come back. It's a nice, flowing, smooth motion. All right, don't need to bounce it, hurt your ribs, or you're gonna tear a muscle. Come all the way to the chest. If you don't, you're not doing a full rep. You want to work the entire muscle, and if you're doing a short muscle, you're not doing a long muscle. You know, there are exercises that you are going to do those type of exercises, but bench is not one of them. Also, depending on where your grip is going to change how the lift goes. I say have a grip that's comfortable. If you're really close, you're more doing a tricep exercise than the pecs and shoulders. Really wide grip, mostly pecs. Understand your shoulders are always involved in this. So if you want to develop a stronger bench, besides benching, you're going to want to do shoulder exercises. You know, military presses, whether seated, supported, or freestanding, doesn't matter. You also do them with dumbbells. And tricep exercises and back. All right, the back muscles are actually keeping it steady when you're coming back down. All these things are going to sit there and develop your bench. We'll talk about other exercises that will develop other areas, but today is mostly on the bench. So on my workout, I flat bench for a good hour, maybe longer. After that, I'll go and do flies. And the flies are basically to stretch me out, because you need a good stretch after a workout like this. Nutrition. You've got to eat a lot of protein to build muscle. If you don't, your body will break down muscle to repair the muscle you tore. Because anytime you're lifting heavy weights, you're tearing muscle. That's how it gets stronger. That's how it gets bigger. So I always say breakfast is a must. I don't care if it's bacon and eggs, I don't care if it's oatmeal and a lot of milk, you know, however you're getting it. But you want at least, I'd say 300-400 calories of clean carbs and 30 to 50 grams of protein for breakfast. I generally eat 2 breakfasts. When I first get up, I'll chug a shake. And if I don't have a protein powder, then I'll just chug a bunch of milk. But I'm going to get 30 grams of protein in me first, just as I get up. Wakes my stomach up, gets me ready for it. Breakfast after that is usually a couple strips of bacon and 3 or 4 eggs and a glass of milk. The milk I use is Fairlife milk because it's got more protein. It's got 13 grams per serving versus 8 grams. It's got half the sugar, and if you react to lactose, it really doesn't have any lactose in it, so you can drink that milk. For those people that usually don't drink milk. So to me, it's a way of getting more protein in there. At a body weight of 260 pounds, when I'm in competition, I need to get 200 to 250 grams of protein a day. And you have to do that about in increments of about 30 to 50 at a time, because your body cannot process more than probably 40 or 50 grams. So I'm eating 5 to 6 meals a day. Protein shakes are considered a supplement. They're not considered a meal. They don't replace a meal, they add to it. So generally I'll have a protein shake first thing in the morning, and then I'll have one right after my workout. Those are generally the 2 main times I'm having. Sometimes I have it before I go to bed, unless I've ate a late dinner. But nutrition is very important. Next set will be 275. Then when I get done with that, I will talk more about different supplements that you may or may not want to use. Okay, so I'm going to put some new weights on. Okay, so got the 225. I got 275 on there now. Figured before I popped it a few times, we talk about supplements. So supplements do a lot of things. So one thing, supplements I think everybody should be taking is a multivitamin. All right, multivitamins do wonderful things for you. They help with digestion, they help with energy, they help with immunity, they help with healing. Some of the vitamins that are really good for healing are D3 and vitamin C. Ones that get more energy out of your food are your B vitamins, also make you feel better. Anybody that's really tied down a hangover, you know, there ain't nothing better than a couple B12s to get you rolling again. Minerals, magnesium, potassium, and zinc. A lot of times you'll see there at like a place like Click Nutrition, and if you mention my name, you'll get 15% off. But if you go to places like that, you'll see what's called ZMA, which is basically zinc, magnesium. You know, you can buy it there, or you can just buy it separately, you know, at your local Walgreens or even grocery store. These help you heal faster, they help your immunity system. There's just so many benefits to it, so I think these are things that everybody should be taking. And then we'll get into more detail on some of the more selective ones for the athletes. You know, I'll tell you what I take, I'll tell you what I know what's out there, and what I think the pros and cons are. But understand this is just, a lot of this is based on my opinion, but on the vitamins and minerals, that's actually based on science. I do have a lot of science background, I got a degree in it. And you know, I'll never tell anybody not to take vitamins. All right, just understand the multivitamins give you pretty much what you need. Vitamins that you can take more of are going to be C, because they're water soluble. Ones that you can't take more of are going to be D3. D3 in pill form, you should only take one. You can go out in the sun and produce all the D3 you want, and if you're in the sun a long time, it's still not going to bother you, but a pill form, don't ever take any more than the recommended dosage. You know, but what I'll find out is I won't take D3 during the summer because I'm outside all the time. When I'm outside, I'm in the sun, I'm producing not all I need. But now that winter's coming, I'm not going to be outside, it's not sunny, so this is something that I've added to it. And then I take a Super B complex, which helps me with getting more energy from my food and just makes you feel better. Nothing wrong with that. Generally, trying to do something relaxing to get to sleep, you want at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep if you're lifting heavily, because if you don't get enough sleep, your body does not have enough time for you to heal. All right, so I'm going to knock out a few at 275. Now, generally I do more reps, but like I said earlier, I have a meet on Sunday, so I don't want to burn myself out too much. But I still think there's a benefit of re-stressing the muscles, and I'll make sure I eat a lot of food a day. Generally, the thought is if you have a meet on the weekend, you work out on Monday and you don't work out the rest of the week. And okay, so back to the importance of sleep. You need 6 to 8 hours of sleep to allow your body to repair basically all the damage you did in the gym that day. If you don't get enough sleep, your body doesn't have time to repair, and you're going to be actually losing strength because you keep tearing your muscles down and they never catch back up. And then, like I said, that's where nutrition is extremely important. But basically, going back into supplements, I take the amino acid called arginine, and there's a lot of aminos out there, and a lot of your proteins will have a bunch of them in there. But arginine helps with the blood flow, which helps carry nutrients, you know, to the muscles. I also take it at night, which helps for your body to release its natural HGH, which is a natural thing. Now, you know, people out there will take the artificial stuff. I stay away from it, you know, but I'm not, you know, it's America, do what you want to do. There's some inherent risk with that, and at 60 years old, I'm not going to take that risk. Besides, I'm stronger than I ever thought I would ever be, so for me to take any type of what they call gear is just not a good idea, I feel, at my age. But I know a lot of people that do, and that's their decision, and I respect their decision. But just make sure you get to sleep, and that. So arginine is one that I take I think it's good. I think it's helped me get to where I need. I used to take creatine, which is kind of like a sugar. You can get it through red meat. I don't buy the pill form anymore, but I know a lot of people do. But you know, a lot of my pre-workouts out there have it in there anyway, so I'm not going to say I don't take creatine, because yeah, I'm ingesting it in a lot of my pre-workouts that I take when I take them. Pre-workouts, another thing, you know, see how tolerant you are to caffeine. Me, I'm 1 cup of coffee a day, that's it. So something like a Monster or something like that, it's just not good for me. It's just too much. So I try to carry things that have got more of the B vitamins for energy and stuff like that, or less caffeine in them. You know, your 5-hour energies are really kind of on that. You know, you don't get the same burn down that you would get on a Monster or a Red Bull, things like that. I think those are just too much. Once again, my opinion. A lot of people have a huge tolerance to caffeine, and they can drink that stuff all day. When you go into a nutrition place, they're going to have all the latest and greatest. I would just play it by ear by how knowledgeable the person behind the counter seems. If you feel that they're just making it up as you go, you may want to do your own research. I have been to other places where they really don't know their product, and then I've been to places where they really do. And those are the ones I go to. You know, if I want to try something new, I want to know what it is, I want to know what it's actually doing, how it's doing it, and is it something I want to do. There's a lot of products out there. And not just for fitness, but there's products out there for joint health. There's products out there to help you sleep that don't have that one drug in there. There's products to help you diet. There's alternates to some of your pharmaceuticals. So I would always say, if you got a reputable place next to you in that, go in there and talk to them, and you might find there might be something out there that'll make your life a little bit more comfortable. So now I'm going to change the weights, and next weight will be 315 pounds. All right, so I'm back here. This segment we're going to say is by Click Nutrition in Joliet, Illinois. They also are online, which I'll get you next time. But if you Google Click Nutrition, they do have a website. They do have a Facebook. 15% coupon. You don't physically have the coupon there. Just mention that you're affiliated or heard this advertisement with John MacBean or under Scottish Fitness, and they'll take care of you on that one. I go there for my needs because they know what they're talking about. I was there yesterday. I have a friend who really needs to put on some weight, so I picked up a weight gainer protein. Yeah, so here's one where I can have one glass full, I can have 1,000 calories, you know, because he needs it. He's been at a point where he hasn't ate, his stomach has shrunk so much that we have to actually use a supplement along with food to get that minimum 2,000 calorie diet. And we really want to put him on 3 to 4 so we can start gaining some weight. A friend of mine since childhood, so I make the hour-and-a-half trip out there to take care of him. But one of those things, I went to them to say, I want it for just to gain weight, not to gain muscle, not to gain bulk, just to gain weight. And there was a product for that. Bulking proteins do work. I put on like 15 pounds real quick one time. I don't use them now because I'm at a weight I'm comfortable with. I really don't want to get any heavier than this if I can help it. I do notice that, you know, stairs and jumping up on a deck are a little more challenging at 260 than they were at 242. So, you know, come in this year, I will drop back down to 242 and compete at that class. Go back over what I'm doing. John MacBean. I have a YouTube channel, Scottish Fitness. Sponsor today is Click Nutrition. I'm 60 years old, 260 pounds, and I power lift. Like I said, I've got numerous world and national records. If you go to openpowerlifting.com and you search by bench only, Masters 60 to 64, 275 pound class, you'll see that I'm either tied for 7th or 8th if UPA has updated the website since my last competition. I have a competition this Sunday, the 21st, down in Bloomington, Illinois at Be Strong Gym. sort of WAP. My standing record there, I think, is only like 408 pounds, because when I did that, I was still recovering from an injury. Probably shouldn't have did it, but you know, I already paid for it. And I know I'll be able to destroy that. Whether I will beat my lift of 446 that I did on the 6th, I don't know. It'll play by ear. You understand, sometimes you come in the gym and you feel like Superman, and sometimes you're just good old Clark Kent. You still do your workout. So I think I've covered everything, you know, because on a treadmill you're running on a machine. If you're not getting shin splints when you run outside, then I would say you run outside. Shin splints are no fun. I did track in high school, and I remember the first time I got those. They were miserable, you know. But fortunately, I had a really good track coach, and he let me know that why it was is because of the way I was running. Now I got to think back, you know, 50 years, but you know, here it goes. But generally, if you're running outside, you might, because of the wilderness and the setting, and that, be more relaxed and have a more relaxed stride. With a treadmill, if you start raising the incline up and you start kicking in the resistance, well, it's not like you're running outside now. Now you're doing an exercise. What usually causes shin splints is because you're kicking your legs up too high, and it's coming down. Boom, 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 boom. And that's usually what causes a shin splint. So if it is happening on a treadmill, I first would say, well, what angle do you have it on? What is the elevation? And if there's no elevation, then we know the elevation is the problem. Then I would say, what sort of resistance? And if you have a lot of resistance, I would cut back on the resistance, and I'd also cut back on the angle if you're doing the angle. Understand, if you're trying to burn calories, you will burn the same amount of calories whether you run that mile in 15 minutes or 20 minutes, all right? It doesn't matter. It's still a distance. You know, so if you're going to kick off the resistance, thinking that resistance is actually helping you burn more calories, it'll tell a little bit, but not enough. I would say lower the angle and lower the resistance, and maybe just add 5 minutes to your run. But if you already have the shin splints, you're probably going to have to take a couple weeks off of that treadmill, just to allow your body to heal. It's not something you want to keep aggravating. It doesn't help it. You know, I would go to a walk, or I'd go to a bicycle, or to an elliptical until the shin splints go away. So, good question. Thanks for asking. All right, so 315.
I appreciate that.
Sunshine Friday, just forget it.
So, I was on a YouTube channel. I have one too, but I go and also look at other ones. And someone come up with a very interesting routine that I'm going to start trying. So he says, his name is Steve Shaw, he comes from the massive Iron Channel. And he said, go to a weight you can do 10 of, which 315 is that weight. He said, then do your first set, just do it once. Your second set, do it twice. Your third set, do it 3 times. And your fourth set, do as many as you can. You know, when I asked him how big of a break, he says, you know, whatever you feel comfortable, go ahead and do it. So that's what we're going to do right now, and see how it goes. And that's probably going to end my lifting, but I made this for, because Greg asked me to. I may throw 405 on there and just knock one out, because he asked me to. But I will have to get a spotter when I do that. But there's enough people there, and to be honest with you, my daughter at 9 years old could spot me. I'm not throwing weights on there I can't possibly get. If I threw 500 on there, yeah, then we'd have an issue. This time, it's coming though. So here's goes set number 2, where I'm going to do 2 of them. You always want to check and make sure the weights are tight. So, you know, the guy about 6 years younger than me, but he's definitely been in the business a long time. So I'm going to try to add this on. You got to switch things up if you hit a plateau and you're going for months and nothing's changing. you got to change something. So, not that I'm hitting a plateau, but in the gym I've been doing, maxing out at 455, 460 for a while time. And part of it is because last December I hit 480 in the gym, and then the next week I did a 425 pause, a 445 pause, and then 470 I had a tear, and the whole chest turned black and blue, and it was no fun. Didn't go to the gym for 3 weeks because Vince Robin Shore Fitness would not let me in because he knew that'd be a bad idea. When I started back up, it was at 135 pounds. You know, and I just kept going up a little bit every workout, and by the end of February I competed, and I hit a new personal record of 430 pounds. I was pretty surprised with myself, but that injury is in the back of my mind. So I've been kind of wanting to attack it a little bit different so I don't repeat the injury. But I'm not using that as an excuse not to go heavy. So I'm still going heavy, but I'm trying to be a little smarter about it. I noticed that I felt really tight here on both sides, and I didn't pay attention to myself, and I should have. So right now, there's no tightness in here, none in here. You know, everything's working out real well. Shoulder was sore a couple weeks ago, but Doc here at the chiropractic one had me do a little maneuver, and it popped back in joint. So I guess I was working out with a dislocated shoulder for a couple months. I'm not saying fully dislocated, but there was an audible pop when it went back in the joint. That was kind of funny. So anytime you're feeling, you know, something that ain't right, talk to somebody who has experience, or see your local doctor. Just young people just push through the pain. Yeah, I say push through the soreness, not the pain. If there's pain there, it's your body trying to tell you something's wrong. Being sore is fine. I'm sore after every workout. If I wasn't, I don't think I worked out. And the best way to get over soreness is eat more food, and clean food. Like I said, concentrate on the clean carbs, concentrate on the protein. All right, so now here's my third set. Should be 3. So I am going to tighten the plates. I don't live with collars, probably should, but I want to have the ability to, no, I'm not going to put collars in. I want the ability to dump the weights if I have to, if I get stranded. So on this one, this is a burnout where he says you want to get at least 7. If I get more than 7, then he says the next time I do this workout, which would be next week, I would do it 5 pounds more. So starting at 315, I do it at 320, and it made sense. So I'm going to do it for about 3 months. I usually have a WAP meet in February. Hopefully this time will be in Joliet, a little bit closer, and I want to see what sort of weight I'll nail. And if it does work more, and I'm definitely be happy with it, and I'll give the guy a huge shout out on his channel. He doesn't know I'm testing it right now, except that I decided to give it a try. But it sounded like good. He was also doing other things with some different equipment, which I won't use, but it's still all valid stuff. Any exercise is valid stuff. Couple other things, people when they see my videos are like, they're confused about how I'm pushing so much weight because they don't think I look big enough. And understand, power lifters, unless you're Eddie Hall and he's doing incredibly huge weights, don't have to have big muscles. They just have big shoulders, chest and back. And there's a mental game to it, but there's a mental game in any athletic sport. But my front shoulders are big as most people's head. You know, my pecs are hugely developed. I have very strong triceps. I mean, I have an 18-inch arm, but I'm also 6'4". So a lot of times people don't realize that until they meet me in person. And I've had a few that followed me out to some of my events and, holy crap, you look bigger in person. And I understand that. You know, videos sometimes are different, but big arms does not make a bench. All right? Big shoulders, big chest, back. Those are ones that do it. Big arms look cool, but that's a whole different exercise, you know. And to me, I'd rather do the powerlifting than that because I think powerlifting's easier. You know, because those guys that are doing that bodybuilding stuff, you know, that dieting, oh hell no, I don't want to do that. That's hard work. Me, I just pick up heavy weights and eat whatever I want. But if you are into bodybuilding and stuff like that, I do know some excellent bodybuilders that I can get on this channel too and answer some of your channels. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see them in some of my videos every now and then. And we have a little fun at the gym too. Being his gym, we can kind of abuse the equipment a little bit more. But I like this gym because it's got all the basic stuff I need. It's got some nice machines that I can fit into. I've been to gyms where the lifting machines were too small. I couldn't physically get into them. I don't have that problem here. And then they got the cardio equipment, and they have a nice friendly staff. So if you're in Streator, I would definitely recommend the Edge. Good people, and the rates are very reasonable and really good equipment. So now I'm going to try to at least knock out 7. See how it goes. So there was 8. So I'm going to go to 5 pounds heavier next time. I probably had 9 or 10 in me, but because I'm going to do that 405 lift, I needed to bank some energy. So when I return, I'll have 405 on here. I'll have somebody here to spot me. I'll go over the list of my favorite exercises that I like to do in the gym. And then I'll go one last thing about all my sponsors. So that's all I need to do that. All right, so we're gonna take a break. Be back in about 5 minutes. Yeah. All right, I got a guest star here. Is he gonna spot me? Which you should already have a spotter when you're going heavyweight. 405 is heavyweight. A few other things about me. I'm kind of a local about Cornell. My wife teaches here in Streator. My kids went to grade school here in Streator, sports, you know. Also have a YouTube channel. Just my name, search under my name or Scottish Fitness, it should pop up. I do have a lot of videos there. And these will start appearing once I get Greg switched over to my administrator. I have to learn how to do that, but I'm learning it. But if you do like my videos, I do appreciate going to my channel, like and subscribe, and also share. I'd appreciate that. So we knock out 405 once. I wasn't going to do it, but Greg asked me to. I do have a meet Sunday where I'll be pushing more weight than this, but I think if I just do it once, I should be fine. So here it goes. 405, 60 years old. Yada, yada, yada.
No lift off?
Just about 30 pounds worth, that's all. That's about a little bit off my shoulders.
Okay.
All right?
Just a little bit? Great.
And that's how a sanctioned lift is done. I'd like to thank everybody for watching and hope you get anything out of it. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask questions. Greg will get to them to me later. If you go on YouTube and you see my videos and you got questions, please post them. I will answer them. Otherwise, that's probably all today on bench. Unless if you want to cover some secondary exercise, but we can do that later. So out here from Edge Gym in lovely Streator, Illinois, John MacBean. See who you are?
Guest star Izzy.
There you go, guest star Izzy. And we're out here. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
You're welcome.